All right. Shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect. Before I get started, let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokar Kodash, the one to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, have mercy upon you. All right, y'all. I'm on the guy's page, Danny. I can't. That last name always get me. Her phone. Right? And the name of this video is Trump and Netanyahu humiliated Israel's Qatar strike blows back. While y'all sitting here being distracted, or y'all being distracted with civil unrest, war is in the so-called Middle East, and it's brewing. I mean, literally boiling over. Getting ready for what? For World War III. But hey, SOBs, that's what they do, which is meaning psychological operations. You know what? Let's just read that real quick. Let me Google it. What is a SOB? Listen to this. A SOB, or psychological operation, is a military operation to influence the emotion, motives, reasoning, and behavior of target groups or foreign government through the selection and dissemination of specific information and indicators used in various communications media, including radio, TV, leaflets, and social media. SOBs aim to create desired effects that support national or military objectives, often in long-term process to gain advantage over adversaries or allies. Key aspect of what of PSYOP, targeted influences. PSYOPs are what designed to influence specific groups of people, such as enemy forces or civilian population in a foreign country. Right? Let's see something right quick. Gotta make sure I got this right here. Oh. Alright. Non-combative mean, no. Variety media, long-term goal. Purpose of PSYOPs. To weaken an adversary, resolved by what? By spreading misinformation or half-truth. To garner support for what? For military actions, or to what? Undermine enemy morale. To promote a what? A particular agenda or narrative to what? To a target audience. To build trust and influence relationships with civilian population to gain strategic benefits. Who conducts SOBs? Military and spy agencies are the primary practitioners of psychological operation. The U.S. Army, for an example, has psychological operations specialists, the MOS 37F, who are trained in persuasion and influence activities. Hey man, these people. Let me see. What does? Nope. I just did that. Hold up. What does? We got that. Anyway, okay. That's it. Hey man, there we back. So listen up. Again, Trump and Netanyahu humiliated Israelis Qatar strike blows. So listen up.
Israeli F-35 jets sailed over Saudi airspace, Syrian airspace, to get to Qatar and killed 6 people. Now, Donald Trump has had a very curious response to this. Many were asking what was his involvement in all of this. This was a statement he put on Truth Social. The Trump administration was notified by the U.S. military that Israel was attacking Hamas, which unfortunately was located in a section of Doha, the capital of Qatar. It was a decision made by Prime Minister Netanyahu. It was not made by me. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the U.S. that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goal. He was notified of the strikes. He notified Steve Witkoff.
See, man, Trump and Netanyahu, they are one and the same, man. But you know, nobody lies like that devil over there in the so-called Middle East. Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, right? You talking about? I mean, they just. How could people, you know? How many times a person have to lie to you for you to not believe them? You know, American people. That's why the world says, man, American people are dumb. Literally, that they are dumb. And you got Russia and Iran, and the Saudis. They united against who? Israel. So, and we know that what America supports Israel. What's that? Jeremiah 49:20, the least of the flock. Which is the Israelis. They are what? They're the least of the flock. They are what? The least of the flock shall draw them out. Meaning, you know, America is going. Well, hey, look, you know what? That's my lesson. So let's hear it on that, and I'm gonna go into the lesson.
Immediately that they were occurring, and unfortunately, it was too late to stop the attack. Talk about the significance of this strike on Qatar. What does it reflect about where the situation is, not only when it comes to, of course, Israel's purported plans to occupy Gaza fully, but really the entire region as a whole, and how it reflects on the United States?
Trump is a liar, period. There are 2 ways that Israel could launch that attack without the United States knowing. The first is no way, and the second is no way in hell. This has been a pattern.
But they each always saying that they don't know what each other is doing, which is a lie. Which is a total lie.
And it's not, we can't really pin it directly on Trump. This has been a collaboration between Israeli intelligence and U.S. intelligence. It goes back into the Biden administration. And maybe goes back as far as Trump's first term, where the United States uses the ploy of saying, hey, we're going to have talks with you. So be at this location at this date and this time. And so when the foreign suckers show up, they can be killed. We saw.
Did y'all hear about that? That they supposed to have a meeting and they all showed up. That's just like when they trying to they had them meet up, and they wanted a Pacific man, and they allowed all those people to show up, and then they did what? They just bombed the building. That's just like when America want one man, and he gets on a plane with 230 people. They will what? They will crash that whole plane just to get one person. That's how sick and devious these people think, man. They have no conscience, man, no soul. Well, they all have soul. Everybody got soul, but you know what I mean. They're just demon devils. They don't give a damn about, you know, blood. They love blood, man. They love blood. Look at what Benjamin Netanyahu he's still slaughtering them people over there in Palestine, man. Still slaughtering. And you think he's gonna stop there? Once he finished slaughtering them and starving them out and achieving his goal on that portion, he gonna start on the other end. These there want the whole Middle East to themselves, man.
A version of that with General Soleimani. during Donald Trump's first term. We saw another version of it with the murder of Sheikh Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, by the Israelis, but they, again, were meeting, the Hezbollah leadership was meeting to consider a U.S. peace proposal. We saw a version of that again with respect to the Iran meeting, getting prepared for a meeting with U.S. officials, and then 2 days before that meeting, they're hit by Israelis.
See that? This is a constant wicked behavior where you know, the shaking of the hands, and they turn around and what and you know, how you go somewhere and knowing you're gonna meet there because you trying to what, trying to be we just say civil, trying to shaking of the hand to what, for a deal, to, you know, so a peace talk. But peace, their peace is nothing but a setup. This is what these people do, man. You know what? Let me see something right quick. The Middle East. Let me see what's real quick. Real quick. Let's see something. The latest in the Middle East. It says as of mid-September of 2025, major recent developments in the Middle East includes escalating hostilities between Israel and Hamas. Specifically, Israel's intensified offensive on Gaza City in a controversial airstrike in Qatar. These actions have heightened tensions with regional and international partners and installed ceasefire talks. See, this is what they do. They have you thinking they're finna come to you're gonna come to an agreement with these devils. Trump, same way. Trump and Netanyahu, they the same way. They would. They trick you and have you think you're gonna have a peace talk, and then they come and bomb you behind. Israel and Gaza war was a regional tension. Gaza City offensive. Israel has ramped up its military operation. See, back when Iran and Israel was going head to head, they shouldn't have stopped. See, the only reason they said something about some peace talk is because they ran out of what? Ran out of weapons, ran out of bombs to shoot over in Iran. Huh? So what did they do? They ran out, so they want to talk peace. As soon as they got what they wanted, what happened? They turned right around and bombed them again. Gaza City offensive Israel has ramped up its military operations in Gaza City, which it declared a dangerous combat zone, and ordered civilians to evacuate. Reports from the Gaza Health Ministry indicate dozens of casualties in recent strikes, and satellite images reveal widespread destruction. See, America is spread out thin, man. Americans rely on air bombs. They don't have we don't have a large ground on ground. America would lose a war against hey, the smallest of the small, man. They had to do everything on the ground. If they had to do it on the ground, they'd be in a world of trouble. See, those airstrikes is what makes America more effective and feared. The airstrikes. Airstrike in Qatar and the Israeli airstrike targeted and killed senior Hamas leader in Doha, Qatar in early September. This brazen attack in the capital of a U.S. partner nation drew international condemnation, including a rare joint rebuke from the U.S. and the UN Security Council. The strike has been widely seen a significant blow to ceasefire negotiations mediated by Qatar, as critics accuse Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of deliberately derailing them. This is what they do. This is what they do. Now they would. What happened? I think I seen what one says concerning how will Israel attack on Dahar affect the U.S. in the Gulf states. Man, they's getting ready, man. MC, a Houthi drone successfully struck Ramon Airport in southern Israel, with Houthi rebels claiming it was in retaliation for the recent killing of their leaders. They got them to gather together, man, and bombed them, man. Intentionally diplomatic pressure, the UN General Assembly overwhelmingly endorsed a non-binding resolution supporting a two-state solution. The UAE and European national, including the UK, France, and Germany, have intensified criticism of Israel's actions in Gaza. See, these are the allies of what? They are allies of America and Israel. They're allies. So guess what? These people are Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, man, they just don't give a damn. They just raw dogging. They showing their horns for real. Have intensified criticism of Israel's actions in Gaza, and UAE are warned that annexing the West Bank would be a red line and would end regional integration efforts. Entertainers and artists and that's it. So that's it. Let's listen to these fellows here a little more.
We saw a version of it in Russia with the attacks that took place on June 1st in Russia. We saw it with Hania. The Iranians, the Palestinians, and now the Gulfies, they need to give up their Western cell phones. Get rid of Apple, get rid of Samsung. They need to go Huawei. I think Huawei may be the only secure solution, because what happens is the United States basically gets to set the time and place of the meeting. And that's what happened here, that these Hamas officials were gathered to consider a proposal from Donald Trump for ending the war. They had their cell phones. Now the story they're putting out is, oh, we left our cell phones in the office and we went to another room to pray. Yeah, you probably went 200 yards down the street and got into a bunker to pray. Because I think that's their cover story they're putting out. I suspect it was actually, they got warned by a foreign intelligence agency that's well disposed towards the Palestinians and towards the Arabs, to say, hey, the Israelis, they're going to come in and they're going to hit you, and the United States is complicit with it. There's no way those Israeli aircraft could have transited Qatar and then hit the site. I mean, right outside is Al Udeid Air Force Base. I don't know about Colonel Wilkerson, but
see, they're working evil. Working evil upon their beds. We mean they're communicating. Trump and Netanyahu, they just being just devils, man. You know, being devils. Just shake hands. Then shake hand. He just punch you in the face. This is what they do, man. They don't play fair at all. Period. But you know, it's gonna backfire on them real soon. It's gonna backfire on them.
I've been there. Big base. It is the Central Command's, the U.S. Central Command's forward headquarters. It is the center where all air operations, drones, planes that throughout the region going up into Turkey, they're coordinated out of that center right there. So there's no way in hell that the Donald Trump didn't know about this. He absolutely knew about it, because he was promised, hey, Mr. President, we're going to go in there, we're going to use the same tactics we used successfully before, we're going to kill all the Hamas leaders, and then they're going to be compelled to negotiate, and you'll be the hero. And Trump goes, okay, yeah, I'll go along with that. But then when it blows up, and it didn't pan out as they claimed, Trump all of a sudden, it looks like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk backwards. Oh, no, I didn't know. I didn't find out about this until it happened. It's a lie.
Here is the Qatari prime minister. He comes out with a strong statement, but I'm curious about your assessment of what kind of retaliation could actually be coming to Israel after this attack.
The state of Qatar is committed to act in a decisive way with anything that would target its territories, and will reserve the right to retaliate, and will take all the needed measures to retaliate, and under the directives.
See, they are forcing these people's hands, man. It's like a bully on the playground, man. You know, he just run around slapping everybody, and everybody just standing around and just looking, just let him just slap them, right? Until they all just would, man. Look, man. It's six of us out here. We should be able to take him. This is what's gonna happen, man. This is what's gonna happen to America and Israel, man.
Of His Highness the Emir, the security of the citizens and the residents is our top priority, and based on that, as of tomorrow, God willing, we will review all the policies and the directives in order to deter such actions and measures in the future, so that it cannot happen again.
Well, my first remarks have to be what my general remarks are all the time about this situation in its most enormous geopolitical, geostrategic sense. It ain't Israel that's leading us by the nose. It's us using Israel to do our wishes. Period. So I won't come at it in any way but that. That means I think Larry is right, but let me put a little bit of a footnote on that. We have this philosophy in the military, which has pretty much taken over now, and I saw it impact us seriously in April of 2001, April 10th, as a matter of fact, when the commander-in-chief, now we call them combatant commanders, in the Pacific, overstepped his writ and sent an EP-3, a U.S. reconnaissance plane, slow-moving, too close to Hainan Island, a very militarized portion of China, and up came an F-8 with one of their best pilots in it who got a little bit too close to the EP-3, clipped his own tail off, fell into the South China Sea, and the pilot died. But he so damaged the EP-3, it had to make a forced landing on Hainan Island with a lot of very secure gear on it. And the 24, as I recall, sailors on board were not able to use their thermite grenades and other things quickly enough. And so the plane and some secure gear fell into the Chinese hands. Now, Colin Powell got on that right away and handled it really well, and there wasn't a crisis that resulted from it. It actually started with his cell phone call to the Chinese Leadership Party, which was at that time traveling in South America. And he managed to get Chen Chi-chen, I believe it was, he's dead now, but he was the person in the Chinese hierarchy that knew the most about North America and about the United States. And they worked it out over the cell phone. All to say that commander had been given what we call concept of the operations. And there's no commander in the unified command structure today like the central commander in terms of having leeway to do things within the general concept of operations. Larry described the general concept of operations pretty well and gave some examples of some of the perfidy encompassed by that concept.
The U.S. has always done that. You know, it just, I mean, we are very aware. If you're not, it's a simple Google on how many treaties that America has broken. They have broken every single treaty that they have with any treaty that they have sat down and wrote and shook hands over. America has broken all of them. Every last one of them. Let's go in there I'm not going to play the whole thing. Y'all know I like the comments, y'all. You get some good stuff out the comment. It say let's see something. Arabs need to realize Israel will never stop at Palestine. Exactly. Just what I said. They ain't going to stop there. They're going to keep going and keep going and keep going until they get that whole region over there. Qatar needs to wake up and understand that the U.S. base in Qatar is not meant to protect Qatar, but to to oppress Qatar. Exactly. These people got the United States got a military base, man, damn near every. Nowhere. Let me see something. Let me see how many they got now. How many Air Force bases do United States have in other countries? The U.S. has what, hundreds of overseas bases with figures ranging from at least 128 to over 750 in more than 80 countries. And terrorists, as of early to mid 2025, though exact number vary, these installations, which include Air Force facilities, are located worldwide and significantly presences in Japan, Germany, South Korea, and across. Man, listen, man. And you telling me Esau, Edom don't control the world, man? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Shh. Come on, man. Esau, Edom control all this him, man. He's the one got to be taken down. Cornelius says, I don't believe Trump in he tried to say, he says, no, he said it right. Satan Yahoo. Oh my goodness, let me get on these replies right here. 3 replies. They call him Satan Yahoo. Me too. And he said it's chump. It ain't Trump, it's chump. Clap, hand clap. Oh, let's see something here. The U.S. has power over Israel, but U.S. is ruled by Zionists. The U.S. is a serial liar. They lied about Vietnam, Iraq, Libya, Iran, Syria, and Afghanistan. Man, I remember those days. I remember when they were bombing them folks, tearing them folks up, man, taking their presidents, taking them across the sea and dropping them in the sea. Man, these Edomites ain't no joke. Donald Trump is lying. Everybody's saying he's lying. Yes, the American government has become openly terrorists. They've been terrorists. When have they stopped being terrorists? They always been terrorists. But they'll call you a terrorist in a minute. Qatar, no, not him. Let me get down a little bit. This thing in the way. I don't know what that name say. Trump and Netanyahu, the two biggest liars and most arrogant people on earth. Man, couldn't have said it better myself. East Side says, what? The colonial is very honest. I used to think that he was completely biased against Trump. But I see and understand now that he tells it as it is, as he sees it. Even sometimes giving the benefit of the doubt, more power to what? Connell, the Wilkerson, the man on the thing now. I thought he was saying something else. The U.S. knew every country Israel bombed in the past year. Don't tell me there at the very least was no intel. Yeah, man. Trump knows all this here, man. They very well, because they both were what? They both snakes. The Hamas, let me see, Andy say the Hamas negotiation invited by Trump was political diplomats. In other words, civilians. So Israel assassination attempt was a war crime. Paul says, doesn't matter. Trump is not in charge of foreign policy or anything else. The U.S. is completely corrupt. Been corrupt. When they not stop being corrupt. See, these Edomites are mad over him, man. They hot. They upset. Why they upset? Because they catching hell over him. Most of us catching hell. This place ain't never been no land of no free. What's free? Ain't nothing free. Home, you spend, and it don't make sense to spend millions of dollars on a home that you own that you could never own. It don't make sense. Randy says all U.S. Congress people and POTUS guilty of taking money to support Israel, as well as those that gave them the criminal money, all need long prison sentences. That's yeah. Good luck with that. Emin say, did you in your dictionary check out the word bullshit? Trump picture is right next to it. I am so sick of America's BS. Everybody in the world is tired of it. Yeah, it's gonna come to a head though. It's literally gonna come to a head. It's not going to be pretty, but what I cannot wait till God Almighty will deal with America / Trump. Boy, I tell you, these people they're actually waking up, y'all. And real quick, let's go to since he said that, let's go to what I want. Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah, or what I said concerning the least of the flock. I don't want that. Hold up. That's 49. I know that's 40. I'm going to read that too, 49 and 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he has taken. Now I like the one better, the one that's in Jeremiah 50 and 45. Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he has taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purposes that he has purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, which is Esau, Edom. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall what? Make their what? Their habitation desolation with them. That's America, man. America will be what? They're gonna get there. See, the wickedness that Israel is doing over there in the so-called Middle East. All they're gonna do is spill over. Both ways. When Israel they're gonna spill over in America, and America gonna get involved. Vice versa. They both gonna get their just due in these latter times. Let's listen to a little more of this here, about 2-3 more minutes of it, and I'm gonna close this out, and I'm gonna get into the scriptures. Then I want to go to 51. Then I'll read it later. Let's go.
Of operations, whether it was Soleimani or more egregiously, it was the people we murdered in Tehran and environs, or whether it was this incident. And in the sense that, did Trump know? I would say in his defense that this might have been in that general concept of operations. Netanyahu and the Unified Command Commander are like that, lips and teeth, as Mao Zedong said. And they might have done it without Trump's explicit knowledge, but I will guarantee you that he's given the general concept of operations his blessing. So they can act within that, both Bibi and that Central Command commander. To add to this, I don't know if this is verifiable, but I heard from some people in the region that there were U.S. aircraft up at the time. Now,
yes.
It would have been senseless to put a cap up, combat air patrol with, F-16s, F-15s, F-35s, whatever. That would have been too indicative. So they put a few action trashers up there, but their role was to make sure there was no interference developing with regard to this strike, which says, as Larry just said, we knew all about it. Timing, probably the ordnance, probably the targets and everything else. So is Trump really being disingenuous, or is he malinformed of specifics that might come back and haunt him? I don't know the answer to that question, because I will tell you something else. This is my field. I've studied every administration and the national security decision-making process therein since Eisenhower. There is no system in this administration. There is no system at all.
Yeah.
There is no national security advisor who is responsible for managing the system, however badly or well. None. So how in the world are they making decisions like this in particular that the president knows the specific details of, or that even blesses them? I don't know. I think this general concept is out there. And let's back up to one other thing too.
They'll bomb somebody and then say, Trump said, I wasn't aware of that. I got to talk to Netanyahu concerning that. He just act like, hiding your hand. It's like you, you standing there right along with him. He just handed you the gun. He just smoked somebody with, and then he handed it to you and you put it behind your back. This is what they doing. Like 2 kids on the playground, man, being demons, man. Boy, I tell you, these Edomites are something else.
This is Bibi's way of stopping negotiations. This is the way he does it. And if anybody sits down with the enemy, Hamas, he's going to try to stop it any way he possibly can. And he's getting more desperate in that regard because he's getting more desperate that he hasn't destroyed Hamas and that he isn't going to. And so he's going to have to expand this war. He's going to have to expand it to Lebanon, to Syria, or more likely to Iran. He's got to do that. For political purposes and for his own survival, he's got to do that. So he wants no peace agreement at all. And he doesn't give a damn about the hostages. We all know that. So I agree mostly with what Larry said.
What was leaked out as this attack occurred was that Trump's advisors were infuriated with the attack, and that when they found out about it, it was as if they were not consulted with, that the Trump administration was not notified. And then we come to find out that they did receive notification, supposedly, but that notification was too late. What do you make of this, Larry, of the plausible deniability? Because Colonel Wilkerson brought up a point where we could be looking at chaos of a system that just absolutely is working on its own despite it, or we're looking at plausible deniability, which is a kind of strategy of moving along to what Colonel Wilkerson says is using Israel for the U.S.'s purposes while pretending that it has nothing to do with the U.S.
Yeah, it's total, to quote Ray McGovern, male bovine excrement. Look, as Colonel Wilkerson alluded to, the planning process. I spent 23 years scripting out. They were exercises under what was called the 0300 and the 0400 plan. But these were counterterrorism exercises. However, the planning process, so this is crisis management planning. You've got 2 types of planning in the military.
Okay, y'all want to see it? You go to Danny Hafong, HAIPHONG. If you want to see this video. So, let me get into my... let's see where I want to go. I want to get this guy. Do I want this guy here on here? Let's get this guy Colonel here on there. And leave him on there, Wilkerson. Right? So let's go into Matthew 24 and verse, get my glass, 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Rumors of wars, right? Noah's. It's literally Noah's. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See? How long have we been hearing about wars and rumors of wars? How long they been the proxy wars been going on over there in the so-called Middle East? Well, guess what? The end is not yet. Because until Babylon, America, gets that lake of fire, this place is going to continue until that day comes, until the Heavenly Father take this place. You know what? Let's go to real quick. Since I say war, 9, which is Revelation 9 and verse 12, 9 and 12. One woe is past. One woe means what? World War I. And behold, cometh what? 2 woe, meaning World War II, more hereafter. And what's over on 11 14? 11 and 14 goes into, and the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is World War III. This is these people are rocking American people to sleep with all of the hey man, that assassination of that guy, what is his name? Damn. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Of him is actually a huge distraction. And look at the people, man. The people are all focused on what? Focus on what's taking place over here in America, man. Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdoms, and thou shall be what? Famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. That famine goes into what? Shortage. Food shortages. All these things are gonna what? Gonna manifest and gonna fold. They're gonna unfold right in your face, man. You're gonna find yourself in a terrible predicament and not being able to feed your family and even yourself. And the pestilence and the pestilence goes into what? Diseases or infections. Look at the overall. Look what's going on in Houston, Atlanta. All them people with them pox and bumps all in their face and HIV and all this here. Look at all of those things. Listen, man. A lot of you all don't realize that a lot of you all is contracting these things from what? From that C-19. Yeah. Some of our systems are more stronger than others. But for those of you all had those weak systems, but that had a very weak system, they're already in the pit, which is the grave. But it takes a period of time for those things. For some of you all, for it to what? Especially if you eating bad or you eating too much, and these things can form in your body very quickly, right? Because American food is not healthy at all. It's not healthy, period. Revelation 7 in verse 7 and 1. After these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. 4 corners of the earth meaning what? Holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth. Meaning they're holding back the destruction. Until said time or measure or what? The Heavenly Father's Son appearing in the clouds. Holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. What are you going to do? What I said, I wanted to go to Jeremiah, which is Jeremiah 51. Actually, right at the top, goes into fanners. Jeremiah 51 and verse 1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, which is America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. That's the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. What Israel is doing, the least of the flock, is going to spill over into America, and America going to meet its demise by what? By these foreign nations, which is going to be enemies. Which is verse 2. And I will send unto Babylon fanners, which is what? Foreign enemies. Fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. They're going to be everywhere, man. they're gonna now them lies gonna catch up with Trump. It's gonna catch up with Trump. All this proudness, these people is so proud, it's ridiculous. Well, I want 2 Peter. 2 Peter 3 and verse 7. Let's go to 6. Whereby the world that was being overflowed with water perished. Remember that? Remember the day of when the earth was drowned? Noah. Remember the earth with water? What's next? Second death, which is by fire. By the heavens and the earth, which are now by what? By the same word are kept in store. It's kept in store for what? For a time and for a purpose. It's gonna take place. Reserved unto what? Unto fire, which is that destruction. That's that wind that the scripture was speaking about, holding back the wood. The angels holding back on the four corners, which is that wind, which is that destruction. For what? Reserved unto fire against the day of judgment. And what? Perdition of ungodly men. Who is more ungodly than these Edomites, man? And those ungodly men goes into first what? The 2/3 of the Israel / heathens. No one. They're not going to make it, man. They're not going to make it. 2 Peter 3 in verse 10. I'm going to close it out, y'all. But the day of the Lord, the day of the Lord, which is Yahweh, will come as a thief in the night. In the which the heavens shall pass away. Meaning the rulership of these devils, man, is going to what? Pass away. With a great noise, and those great noise is what? Nuclear missiles, man. Benjamin Netanyahu was going to get, he's going to get what he's going to get, and Trump is going to get theirs. They both are going to get mass destruction, but Israel will be built back up. But America, it will not. Only desert creatures will what? Will live in this place once it is blown to pieces. Pass away, which is rulership, with a great noise, and what? The elements shall melt with fervent heat. What's that fervent heat? From those nuclear missiles. The chariots of the Most High, lasers. The earth also, and the works that are what therein shall be burned up. I could go on and on a few more, but hey, that's it, man. What that is, Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So when that normal say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Real Kwadash, Shalom.